We're trying it again. We're trying to run it back.
You fool!
We're trying to make it happen. We're trying to be live. We're working through the kinks. We're nailing them down. That's the way I feel in technology right now, that's for sure. Oh my goodness. It's up, it's down, it is all around, but this is On Program. Your favorite Star Wars show, this side of the Mississippi and/or the chaos. And/or, good one. Got a great show planned for you. It's Jedi. We're doing a fantasy draft. Can't wait to do it. Got a great group of folks to do it with me. I got Andy Mason. I got Mikey D. I got Reba Joy. And I got Michael B. Cannot wait to get into this one for the first, hopefully not only, on-program fantasy draft live Friday night. We scheduled it. The internet had other plans, but we're back. We are undaunted, ready to rock, ready to roll. All right, let's get into this. Let's get into it. Let's make it freaking happen. Okie dokie. So, for the uninitiated, a fantasy draft. We were going to do a top 10 list of all our favorite Jedi, but we're going to all pick the same people. We're all going to be talking about how cool Mace Windu is and how dope he is and how great, why Kit Fisto is everyone's favorite Jedi. And so, that was just going to get awkward. We're all going to repeat ourselves. So what we decided to do was do a fantasy draft where everybody gets one selection. You go through, everybody gets chosen once. And we all get to talk about that character at that time. And then we move the heck on. It's going to be standard snake style, which means that whoever picked first in the first round will pick last in the second round. So it's going to go bing, 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 and then bing, 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 back the other way. Like a snake. You get it? Okay. So we decided that the best way to arrange these picks would be in reverse order of number of episodes you've been on the show. So first will be Reba. Second will be Mikey D. Third will be Andy. Fourth will be Michael B, because he's been here for a very, very long time, all the way back in the first iteration of this bad bear. And then wrap it up with me, because as much as I've tried to pawn this off on other people, if On Program's live, I'm here. So that's how we're going to do it. Let me throw my screen up here. Actually, I'm going to throw up the main draft board. So we got the lovely wife of mine, Lauren, over there. She is handling this whole thing, Draft Central. So anytime anybody drafts a player, you're going to hear this sound. Well, sorry, I should have let you hit the button. Go ahead. So you're going to hear that sound, just like in the NFL, just like, normal non-Star Wars fan people. So that's what's going to happen. You're going to hear that sound. That's going to let us know to stop yapping. And we're going to wrap it up. And I'm going to say, what's the pick? And then she's going to say something. She's going to say who picked. And we're going to know. And then we're going to talk about that character. And then we're going to move on. And the process will repeat ad infinitum. So I'm going to go ahead and get this thing rolling here. And Reba will be the first one on the clock.
Alrighty.
Reba is on the clock. Who's ready? Who's ready for this draft? Are we excited? That was quick. She knew what she was talking about. There's no trading out of the first pick. She's ready. She's cocked, locked, and ready.
There
to
it
rock.
is.
Lauren, let's hear that pick.
And with their first pick, Reba's chosen Ben Solo.
Oh! Whoa! Well,
Surprising
surprised.
absolutely no one.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so Mikey D, you are on the clock, but I want Reba to take this time to explain why Ben Solo means so much to you in a minute and a half or maybe a little more.
Why he means so much to me, or why he's good for this pick?
Hey,
Okay.
it's your turn to yap.
Ben Solo is haunted by the narrative of his family for his entire life. He's groomed into darkness. the very end, he absolutely bodies absolutely every single Padawan at Luke's Jedi school. No one can touch him or come even close to his ability. And he's very handsome. And that's it.
10 out of 10.
Period.
That's on period. That's on period. All right, so now is a great time to go back. You heard the sound. What's the next pick?
With their first pick, Mikey D chooses Luke Skywalker, Grandmaster from Canon.
Off the board.
You weren't expecting
early.
it. I know you weren't expecting
Off the board early. I was thinking it was a good chance. But tell me why. Tell me why you've chosen Luke. And Andy, you are on the clock.
I'd like to make it clear this is the non-canon Luke Skywalker. This is the extended universe Luke Skywalker.
You get both. You get both.
I'll take both. Just not like the ending how Luke Skywalker went out. I love all the extended universe Luke stuff. He might be one of the most powerful Jedi of all time. All of his abilities that he had. We see, a lot of him from the movies. Still kind of, he transfers from being that kind of spunky kid into more of the calm-mannered, understanding kind of the calmness of the Force and where he fits in with that. But I feel like in the extended universe we see a lot deeper of that. How far he goes into it, how in touch with it that he is. How he's able to even touch a little bit of the dark side without being overcome by that, the anger, the hate. He's able to touch it without being, kind of overtaken by it. He's shown how balanced he actually is. I really wanted my first pick to be kind of like who I'd say the Grandmaster is of my council that I'm picking. And I think Luke Skywalker is that perfect pick. Just think how he would have done in the prequel era or the, from the High Republic era, where he would have done in like an actual, really set up government, how well he would have done with the Jedi.
Look, if you
that's why he's my
Legends,
first pick.
If you take Legends Luke Skywalker and you put him pretty much anywhere, it works because Legends Luke Skywalker is basically Jesus Christ. Like, that dude is so powerful. It is insane. He's OP. He is... That's the caveat to Legends is Luke is just like actual God, and it's kind of hard to keep having him be believable at some point because he is just like Captain Marvel or something. But yeah, Taylor's watching, and Taylor said preach. I'm not gonna lie to you, Luke was someone I was very closely eyeing. If he was still on the board, I would have selected him. I didn't think I'd get around to him because I thought someone would choose him first. Andy, you are still on the clock. You have not made a selection, but we're still ready. We can talk about Luke till the cows come home because he's just that good.
What happened when I click draft next? Nothing happens for me.
What happened for everybody else? Because I haven't drafted anybody yet, so I'm not
You
exactly
hit
sure.
draft next, and then you have to confirm your pick. If you scroll to I don't know how it is on mobile. There we go.
All right, we got somebody picked. Thank you. Luke Skywalker was a great pick. He is a perfect Grandmaster. That's an excellent one. The pick is in. Lauren, what we got?
With their first pick, Andy chooses Qui-Gon Jinn, Master from Canon.
Unsurprising again. I got no issue with that. What are you thinking, Andy? Why'd you choose Qui-Gon?
I can sum up Qui-Gon's brilliance with just a couple quotes. He says, "What use are ideals if we cannot fit them to the universe as we find it? If our beliefs tell us one thing and the needs of real people tell us another, can there be any question of which we should listen to?" Qui-Gon is so present. Qui-Gon is so just all around whole and full of light. And I have another quote for him for light. "It matters," he says, "it matters which side we choose, even if there will never be more light than darkness, even if there can be no more joy in the galaxy than there is pain. For every action we undertake, for every word we speak, for every life we touch, it matters. I don't turn toward the light because it means someday I'll win some sort of cosmic game. I turn toward it because it is the light." And I think these are Claudia Gray's words. Is this all Claudia Gray, Ed?
I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's
Yeah.
That first quote sounded like from the more recent book, actually, when he's speaking to the council, trying to get them off their high horses. It's a great
Yeah.
quote, though. And I think,
Yep.
Andy, to your point, it speaks to his consistency as the character, especially in new canon as they've written him. He's you probably stole my top pick there, so I was waffling, but yeah, I'm glad you actually saved me from having to make the decision. But good pick.
You're welcome. You're so welcome.
That's a great one. You know, like Mikey D said, trying to have the ultimate like grandmaster who's the anchor to this council. It's hard to do better than that. All right, we got another pick in. All right, Mikey D, let's not spoil it. Like, what is that? I don't know that sound.
That's somebody's alarm saying it's their turn to pick. It's coming through the.
It's probably me.
That's probably you.
It's probably me. Let me mute
Probably why we could hear all your
Sorry.
Discord
Quick.
notifications.
I'm trying to mute it. I'm sorry. All right. Well, here I'm gonna
It
just
doesn't stop either. Every like 5 seconds.
confirm pick. Okay, I've made a pick, but don't announce it yet, Lauren. I gotta make 2 picks. I'm sorry. I don't want that sound to come back. Hold on, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't know this would happen. Oh,
You fool!
that's so accurate. I'm sorry. All right, I've made my 2 picks. Thank you.
Are you able to pause the draft?
I am. That's exactly right. I'm gonna pause it, and I'm also gonna take this time to turn off that damn sound. Oh. Muted. All right. Sorry. Wyatt Michael says those sounds are pretty loud. Yes, they are. I
Thanks,
apologize.
Wyatt.
That was an unexpected. We got sounds that we planned for, and then sounds that the Force wills, and that was the latter category for sure. Okie doke. Sorry about that, Michael B. We got to announce that pick first, so let's kick it over to our stage manager, Lauren.
With their first pick, Michael B chooses Dooku, Master from Canon.
Wow. All right, that's controversial. Talk about it. Tell me why.
So he's actually one of the first ones that came to mind, and I was wondering if he was even going to be on this list, because I think he does only sort of tentatively count, considering he definitely turned to the dark side and definitely died as a Sith. There was no redeeming. But at least in his canon backstory, the circumstances around him turning to the dark side, I feel like it's arguable that he's guided by a lot of the same principles that, especially Qui-Gon Jinn, but others are that have problems with the way the Jedi are doing things, have problems with the way the Jedi are not listening to the Force and actually acting, and instead getting really caught up in politics. And while everything he does after he is also sort of groomed by Palpatine is horrible and awful and bad, he was a fantastic Jedi in his time. He was like a savant Jedi, not just his dueling capabilities, but his wisdom. He was just like a Jedi of Jedi at that point. So I think Dooku Sereno was pretty high at my list, and he was the one going back and forth between him and Qui-Gon Jinn for me. I think they're two of my favorite kind of sides of the same coin. The only reason I was going to probably pick him over Qui-Gon is just because I felt like, kind of what Mikey D was saying, if this first pick is my Grandmaster, I felt like it'd be weird to put Qui-Gon over Dooku. I also kind of figured in a fight Dooku would win, even despite dark side abilities. I just think Dooku would probably wreck his life. Not to say that Qui-Gon wouldn't come back from the dead, but
All right, before we move on, I need to check things. Wyatt Michael says my desk mic isn't working. Is it working now?
No.
I'm muted now. Okay. I'm back now. This sounds good.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. All right, cool.
Correct.
Okay. Before we move on to the next pick, I heard that chime. I'm sorry. I just if this were normal circumstances and the world weren't falling down around my ears, I would have a lot more to say about this man choosing a Sith Lord to be his Grandmaster. But hey, it is what it is. we move on. Announce my first overall pick, please. I apologize for getting in the way.
With their first pick, Ed chooses Revan, Master from Legends.
Come on. Was anybody surprised? Was anybody surprised? You left him on the board, everybody. You made me do this. There's no way around it. For those of you who don't know, for the uninitiated, Revan is awesome. Revan from Legends is just supremely powerful, and I deserve every bit of shade that I just threw at Michael coming right back at me. But here's the difference. Where Dooku joined the dark side and died, Revan joined the dark side, became the supreme Dark Lord of the Sith, and then came all the way back to the light and defeated Darth Malak, destroyed the Starforge, and just is supremely powerful. He's awesome. This is where you get the sort of Legends Luke Skywalker power level, but you also get sort of that Qui-Gon Jinn sort of mystique, the dark side, light side, understanding both. He was not afraid to marry. I think a lot of the problems with the Jedi are resolved with someone like Revan, and that's why I chose him as my first overall pick. Very happy with that pick. Let's announce my second one, because it's a snake draft. That's how this thing works.
With their second pick, Ed chooses Obi-Wan Kenobi, Master from Canon.
Oh, I'm seeing some people not like that one, but here's my logic. Here's why. I decided to choose that pick because if you got Revan, right, you got somebody that's a little on the outside. You want somebody to anchor him. You want somebody that's still got the power. Put him up against anybody in a duel. Nobody's holding the candle to Obi-Wan. He's got defensive style. Can hold up against anybody.
Crap, mega crap.
That's out of pocket. You say I reached. What are you, Michael B? That's crazy. But no, I think Obi-Wan will be the perfect counter to hold Revan accountable. And I like this pick. I'm excited to see where we keep going. I'm going to restart the draft now, and that will put Michael B back on the clock.
Obi-Wan was definitely going to be my second pick. You got him from me.
Yeah, probably here too. I think nobody's mad about that pick other than we didn't get him first. Everybody's second choice. Poor Obi-Wan.
All right, that means the pick is in. Let's see what we get here from Michael B.
With their second pick, Michael B chooses Anakin Skywalker, Knight from Canon.
Michael's building his perfect.
There's going to be a trend.
council.
There's going to be a trend here. Listen, I know we talked about how powerful Luke is, but Anakin's the chosen one.
I can fix him.
I'm just saying we have canon Luke is not canon Anakin, and canon Anakin is acknowledged as the most powerful Jedi ever. So, yeah, he's got his problems. But I think with the right guidance, if he had actually been brought up under somebody like, I don't know, Qui-Gon, maybe things would be better.
Hey, we've heard of developmental first-round draft picks before. We've seen it. We've seen it with Jordan Love. We've seen it with lots of other players. High risk, high reward. That's a boomer bust pick if we've ever seen it. I tell you what. Can't be mad at it though. He was up there. He was up there on my board too. So
our team likes to live on the fence, between light and dark.
Sounds like you live on the wrong side of the fence, but hey, I picked Revan, so who am I to talk? Oh, you got another one.
With their second pick, Andy chooses Ahsoka Tano, Padawan from Canon.
Absolutely.
I think you mean Citizen.
Yeah, Citizen Tano. All right, talk about it, Andy. Why'd you choose Ahsoka Tano in the second round?
I think she's kind of the best. I think there's so much to love about her. I think we all kind of love Ahsoka, or at least parts of her. We were just talking about Anakin, and I've got Qui-Gon. It's funny, Qui-Gon and Ahsoka are kind of like bookends of influence surrounding Anakin when you think about it. I feel like they would have a lot to talk about. It'd be really interesting to see. Ahsoka is kind of the Jedi that got me that got my hooks into Star Wars, because I started out with interest in The Mandalorian, and then I saw her in live action, and I was just kind of in awe of her, and that just became more and more as I watched the Clone Wars. She's great. Can't go wrong.
Love it. I love it. I think I would have been right there with you. I think the pairing of Ahsoka with Qui-Gon, we got a lot of unorthodox Jedi going on here, and we got another pick in. So let's see what Michael Dodd has done.
With their second pick, Mikey D chooses Cal Kestis, Knight from Canon.
Listen, my top 5 fell apart. I had
Cal?
Luke, Revan, Obi-Wan, Anakin, and then Ahsoka. Like, just straight through the list, y'all have been shouting me
How
down.
did you think that those people were all going to be there? Like,
I was
you get
hoping.
one
It was
of
just a
those,
hope
brother.
and a prayer.
My emotions!
For real.
All right, so we
this-
got a Padawan. Go for it.
Whoa. A knight. Most
All
definitely
right,
a
fair
knight.
enough.
Be easy
Fair
with
enough.
it. I love Cal Kestis. He is by no means the strongest or wisest Jedi there's ever been. He's by no means, the coolest or the wackiest, but something about what he's seen, what he's gone through, and kind of his path as a Jedi is really interesting to me. And I think with who I'm hoping to get through the rest of this draft, I'm thinking building this out. I think if he could have a master like Luke Skywalker, Grandmaster to help guide him, that he'd become a fantastic master one day. I have a very personal attachment to this character, so I had to get him on my list. I love Cal Kestis. I have his lightsaber at home. It's one of my favorites. This was purely off of just I enjoy him, so he's on my list.
Oh,
Muted.
we can't hear you, Ed.
How about now?
Now you sound great
Oh.
now.
What a zoo. This is a zoo. We're having fun today, boys and girls. Lauren, give us some words. Check. Give us a check.
Check.
How's that?
Good.
Is she
Yeah,
loud?
back to back.
Is she
Good.
screaming
Oh, she
or?
sounds great.
All right, we're gonna pretend that none of that happened, and I know what I'm talking about. All right, so, all right, we're moving fast. I'm gonna pause the draft here, give us a chance to catch up. Sorry, everybody. All right, I'm back. I'm locked in. Michael chose Cal Kestis. That's crazy talk. I love it. I do love the pairing of Cal with Luke. Like you said, you give somebody the right master, they can do all kinds of stuff. And Luke Skywalker can train just about anybody, especially as you stipulated, Legends Luke. There's pretty much nobody that can touch that. All right, we're back. We're cooking with gas. If we got a pick, let's announce it.
With their second pick, Reba chooses Elzar Mann, Master from Canon.
Elzar, second overall for Reba.
Yeah.
Let's hear about it. I'm shocked. I want to hear about this one.
So I like Elzar because he's hot-headed. I like the hot-headed Jedi. And he one of the things I liked about him was how he stood up for Kevin Tarr and the droid idea that he had for taking care of the emergencies. I'm not explaining this well. And I felt like he was a great balance to Avar Kriss, and he hunts down the Nihil, and it's very cool, and he's handsome.
All right.
Which is the real reason.
So he's great. He's awesome. He gets a lot to do, and I know this slightly less than Michael B does. So for the audience, I'm going to loop everybody in here. Elzar Mann is one of the big three from the High Republic books. He has an absolute ton to do. As Reba said, he's sort of the hot-headed one. Avar Kriss and Stellan Gios round out the trio. They're great characters. They have a lot to do, and those High Republic books are awesome. So, Michael, you got a quick thing to say about Elzar?
No, I was going to ask Reba why Elzar and not Stellan. other than
Because I don't
appearances.
know much about Stellan yet. I
Okay.
just haven't gotten to that part of everything. I'm still in the first book, so.
That's fair. And
But
Elzar is arguably a more interesting character, even if he's not like a better character, because of his unorthodox thinking. Like he is constantly being sort of shoved into the limelight, which he's not necessarily seeking, because he's the one willing to do the thing, the weird thing. He's certainly the one willing to say the weird thing. And yeah, he and the other two in that trio they're a powerful bunch. I love it.
Yeah, I'm shocked
Great
that we
beard.
got that pick there, but we got another pick by Reba in, I believe. Let's announce that one if we got it.
With their third pick, Reba chooses Jord Fandar, Knight from Canon.
this is
Okay.
probably not my best, but I'll defend it. Mostly I was freaked out because I clicked Elzar and the timer stopped and then the timer started again. I was like, oh, I have to choose someone else. And so I'm looking at my short list here and I'm like, I like Jord, and I threw Jord in, but now I'm like, okay, this is supposed to be my third overall pick. Jord is not a good pick for third overall. But
You should have
he's
just
a
said
good Jedi.
you could have just said I meant to hit Yoda, and we all would have been like, oh
No.
I get
Jord
it.
was in my short list. Jord was in my short list. Because again, I know significantly less Jedi than everyone else. Right in the on the podcast right now, and Jord is one of the ones I know.
All right, hey, it's
Um,
your choice.
But he's a good Jedi. He'll follow orders. He is handsome. Um,
Yes.
This is what happens when you don't give parameters, Ed. This is what happens.
Hey,
You must not know dick about Star Wars.
oh, that's merciless. Oh my gosh. Hey, look,
I'm
I
just gonna
wanted
draft
this.
the handsome people.
I wanted everybody to
That's
cook
valid.
up the recipe they want, you know? This is your council. And hey, listen, for every Jord
I wanna
Fandar
look
you
at him.
pick is another great character that I might have the chance to pick. So who knows, you know? Jord would have been an undrafted free agent on my team at best. So yeah, let's keep it moving. I'm gonna restart this draft now. I hope that I muted that. I hope nobody heard that, but
Nope.
No one heard it. Great, love it.
We're hearing it all for sure.
Oh, well then I don't know what's going on. Life is a life is a nightmare. We got another pick in, Mikey D. Let's hear who Michael picked.
Mikey.
With their third pick, Mikey D chooses Galen Merrick, Knight from Legend.
Yeah, baby.
Oh,
Yes.
all right.
You didn't let me
let's
round
hear
out
about
defense
this one.
writers here.
I needed some power. We're talking about people who in canon are too powerful. Got to get Merrick in there. A goat can kill the entire universe. He can't be stopped. You give him the right master, though, and he's, a fine tool to have on that council.
You mean you
Easy
give him
pick.
the right love interest? That's all you need to
Yeah,
do.
that's what it is.
man just needed a girlfriend. That's all it was.
What about attachments? What attachments?
Yeah, why murder? He would have, Reba, if you knew about Galen, he would have been perfect on your list. He's like, all he
Is he
needs
handsome?
is just,
Handsome.
he's all right. He's all
My
right.
list
He
is
just needs a
currently
little bit
hot
of
guys.
love.
That's really what I'm picking.
Certainly
for.
brooding. Certainly, dark tendencies.
Sam
That is
Witwer.
exactly,
Come on.
exactly right. Sam Witwer,
Yeah,
I'm just
divine
saying.
actor.
I'm not gay, but Sam Witwer is Sam Witwer. You know what I mean? That's a soundbite.
Come on.
Oh man, we're having fun. I don't know what's going on. I have buttons that ostensibly control things, and they're not working. So we're just having fun tonight. This stream is off the rail, but we got another pick in. I'm very excited to hear about it. This is Andy.
With their third pick, Andy chooses Asajj Ventress, Padawan from Canon.
Asajj Ventress. Now, who's surprised by that one? I'm surprised that wasn't your first overall pick. Tell me
I
all
was
about why you
so-
chose SHhhhh.
And I was tempted to make her my first overall pick, but I was strategical because I don't know much about drafts, but I had a sense that if I wanted Qui-Gon, I needed to get him on early. Asajj is, again, amazing. She's the lead in my favorite Star Wars book of all time, Dark Disciple. I love her story of redemption, her story of passion, and yeah, how she shows up for what she loves and what she cares about in the very end. It's got a very special place in my heart. And she's hot.
True.
We're just making the sexiest councils that we can all make this draft, and I'm very excited about it. Yeah, I really wish I could shut those sounds off, guys. I'm sorry. Not the chime. We chose the chime, but the rest of it is surprising to me. But hey, let's hear that next pick. I'm excited.
With their third pick, Michael B chooses Loden Greatstorm, Master from Canon.
Come on, you got Loden.
I had a feeling if I didn't pick him now, Ed was gonna
he was on my short list too.
I know. I'm sorry, but he's like, there are very few characters and Jedi that are just like pure light side that do things in books that give me literal chills. And unfortunately, the way that went down in that particular book was not, the best. But he's awesome. I feel like he is a Qui-Gon type, like paragon of the example of who a Jedi should be. That's a really weird look for him, but that's okay. He's featured in, I think it's the first of the new High Republic books, right? And he was also in the Young Jedi Adventures for an episode or two, which was really fun, with his Padawan Belzettifar, who is also a pretty great character. But Loden is just awesome. Loden's fantastic. Ed, back me up.
Loden is everything.
And he's handsome.
He is.
He was gonna be on the handsome man roster.
It wasn't part of my metrics, but I'll take it.
He is everything. Loden is great. Loden, like everyone has said, he is like just a beacon of light. And when he has moments, he is written so well in these books, and there are certain moments that you just cannot help but yell. Like I'm reading an audiobook and I'm like screaming in the car. It's absolutely unreal. I love Loden Greatstorm.
Doesn't he like
so much
surf? He does something we saw like Mace Windu do in the Tartakovsky series, where he uses the Force to fly a starfighter while he's like standing on the outside. Isn't that him? I think somebody else does that too, but I'm pretty sure that happens. I believe
so. I can't remember. I'm just mostly thinking of the end.
The end.
Just that scene. My gosh.
Yeah. They put this man through the ringer, and he is a Jedi through and through.
Absolutely.
He balances all of my really murky light side.
Yeah, he does. You're asking a lot. You're asking a lot for that man. There's no doubt about that. But still, I think he can rise to the challenge. I'm gonna make these two picks while I can, and then we'll move along here. Just because I feel I have to. All right, Michael B is back on the clock, and I'll pause it after that. Go ahead and announce my pick.
With their third pick, Ed chooses Mace Windu.
Had to do it to him. I don't like the guy a lot. There's some times where I got big disagreements with him, right? In a sort of geopolitical sense and how to run the Jedi Order. But that's why we got Revan. Revan's like, hey, I'm a better version of you, so sit down. He knows how to use him, right? He knows how to use someone like Mace Windu. Bring out the best. The man invented Vapad, right? To channel his darkness and ride that wave. His ability to find shatter points, his ability as a duelist. There's very little, but people discount his wisdom, right? He's hot-headed, but not hot-headed. He can get his hands dirty in some problematic ways. But I think that the way I've ranked it, someone like Obi-Wan and Revan will help hold him back just a little bit and let him be a weapon for the light, as opposed to the things that he felt like he had to do in the prequels that kind of led him astray. So that's why I chose Mace Windu. Anybody have any notes on that one?
That's a volatile team you have. I feel like poor Obi-Wan is going to be over here, the rules man. And
Hey, you never know.
I feel like Mace and Revan have a little bit more in common than they probably would like to admit.
There's a lot of council left. There's a lot of seats on that council, so we'll keep building them. And with my next pick, hopefully we'll help even that out. Let's see.
With their fourth pick, Ed chooses Kit Fisto, Master from Canon.
This one is just like Andy with Asajj and Reba with Ben Solo. It's like you had to do it to him. I could not go without having him on my draft. It was one of those, I overvalued him, but I needed him. The team wouldn't be mine without Kit Fisto. He's absolutely great. He's one of the main reasons I got into Star Wars. I just saw this squid brother, and I'm just like, that guy. That I want to know more about what's up with this dude. And yeah, I've been locked in ever since. Kit Fisto, Hail Fisto, Fisto Mafia. I'm all in. The Rise of the Fists. Let's go. He's going to fill out the council. He's a light side guy. You saw him fight Grievous in the Clone Wars. That was epic. He's got a sick Jamaican accent that I'm not going to imitate because I know my place. Thank you, Internet. But yeah, it's...
person in the world. My best friend, when I was 6 years old, was a black man.
He was a Nautolan. And I know that. I'm familiar with that culture.
We know how Ed. It's a Nautolan.
It's Nautolan. I pronounce it. That's how the locals say it. They surf the storms, man. That's what they do on Glee Anselm. So no, look, Kit Fisto had to be there. He's high up on my list. I'm gonna restart this countdown now. Man, happy as hell with that. Michael B, you're back on the clock. He's made a selection. All right, and we'll leave Andy on the clock. We'll get a few picks here. What's the pick?
With their fourth pick, Michael B chooses Avar Kriss, Master from Canon.
Reva's like, one of the last ones I knew.
I'm really sorry, Reva. I legit picked her because I knew if I didn't pick her now, I wouldn't get her now. And again, looking at this as like a holistic team, Avar is going to hold down any team. She's the new canon version of Bastila. Like, she is the unifying glue that holds an entire group of Jedi together in a very real, literal way in the stories. She has some really interesting, unique force powers, and she's fantastic. She's very like solidly guided by what she knows is right, and she's the beacon. She's the Marshal of Starlight Beacon, and she's or the hero of Hetzal. You know,
she's great. I mean, she's awesome. And I can't wait to learn more about her in Temptation of the Force, which I'm going to start soon.
You're going to learn a lot about her.
Avar Kriss is great. I love Avar. Just reading Eye of Darkness, really, really enjoyed it. Yeah, really, really pumped with that pick. Andy's up next. I hear the pick is in. Let's see what we get.
With their fourth pick, Andy chooses Din Grogu, Padawan from Canon.
That's a developmental prospect if I've ever seen one. Let's talk about it.
I have one word. Baby. I want that baby.
Speak out! He wasn't even a Padawan. He was a youngling.
Every team needs a baby. I know my team will succeed because I have merchandising on my side. I literally, what could go wrong? What could go wrong?
She would like to see the baby.
And I'll get to.
I got nothing. I mean, hey, you've got the anchor for the next 900 years on your team. You're locked in. You train him how you like, and he's learning from some of the best, right? He's learning from Asajj. He's learning from Qui-Gon. He's gonna grow up to be absolutely Ahsoka. I mean, so yeah, that's as far. I don't know if fourth round, but hey, I get it. I get the logic. I really do.
You made the right choice. That was my next pick.
Well, you're on the clock. You're on your clock now, brother.
That would have upset me a lot. We would have had words.
I'm sorry for this pick, wife.
Dang it, I was between the two of them.
Let's only do the let's from now I'm calling an audible. Let's only do the sound when we're yapping and we need you need our attention. Otherwise, just go ahead and chime in.
But I only have 2 jobs.
Okay. That's funny. All right, well, go ahead. What's the pick?
With their 4th pick, Mikey D chooses Kanan Jarrus, Knight from Canon.
Kanan, Caleb Doom.
You don't know anything about Kanan. You didn't even finish Rebels.
I did finish Rebels, but I hope y'all are seeing a theme
Fake
here.
fan.
I'm going with Knights and Padawans that needed a really good master above them, needed a different situation than what they were in. That's kind of what I'm building here.
So
I'm building
niche in
a
Star
better
Wars.
life for these people. That's what I'm going for.
You thought
Kind
this
of
out
the
way
same-
better than I did.
Not super powerful, not super impressive, but a lot of heart. And I think that's kind of what I was missing here. You know, I have Cal Kestis, who's kind of been a loner for a little bit. I have Merrick, who has a lot of hate and a lot of anger, but can be brought the right way, and a lot of love sometimes. And I think Kanan was a good fit here because kind of, really caring. That's all I got to say about that. That's it.
Wow,
You know, I'm sensing a
adorable.
theme.
I'm
We are
sorry,
we
Andy.
are all
I'm sorry.
we are all choosing people that just really we're not really great with the whole celibacy part of the Jedi code.
It's
We're
so
all-
true. Well, but those are the more interesting characters, right?
It's true. It's true. All right, we got another pick in.
With their 4th pick, Reba chooses Plo Koon, Master from Canon.
Plo last name. I am
I
interested
actually
in
think
that
this should
one.
have been my first choice. I like Plo Koon. He is the HR of my team. He is very nice to people. He treats all people like people. He is a voice of reason. And if I'm drafting a Jedi Council, that's who I want on my Jedi Council. And
That's
also,
fair.
he's handsome.
You only knew who I was when I put on the mask.
Wait, how is he handsome? In what fashion and manner? He looks
You
like a
know.
spoiled boy.
He's got a nice voice. I like his voice. I think he's got an okay, body. And, being kind and being a good person makes you attractive.
Hey, Travis, what's up? Welcome to the zoo.
You seem
Oh,
Justify
man.
myself to you.
Hey, Plo Koon is hot. Plo Koon, looking
No,
awful.
you did not.
looking
You do
awful,
not, Reba.
awful cute over there. All right, what's next? We got another pick. Let's hear it.
With their 5th pick, Reba chooses Bel Zettifar, Knight from Canon.
That's a good pick. That's a good pick. I like that pick.
If
Let's
I
talk
can't
about it.
if I can't have Loden, I'll have his Padawan. Belle's nice. I can't say that he's handsome because I'm 90% sure he's a child. But so he doesn't quite fit in my handsome man list. But he's a Padawan of Loden.
Don't worry, he grows up.
Yeah, but
he grows up.
developmental prospects as far as handsomeness doesn't really hit as well as force talent.
Well, it is kind of funny though,
Exactly.
because Reba's only read the first book and I'm read the last book, and he's a very different character. And I think if you like him now, you're going to really love him as this story goes on.
He's great. He's great. Yeah, I'm very excited.
He's definitely a builder character because he's still training where I see him, but he is thoughtful and he follows in his master's footsteps in a lot of ways, and I think he's a good little brick in my wall that I'm building here.
I can see that. I can certainly see that. Yep, that makes a lot of sense. Like I said, that's a good pick. That's a very, very good pick. Now we've got a few others coming in here. I'm gonna go ahead and pause it again so it doesn't give us that ungodly sound that happens when I'm on the clock. Okay, let's catch up on some picks here.
With their 5th pick, Mikey D chooses Yoda, Grandmaster from Canon.
I didn't catch that, but I see it here. I see Yoda.
Amen.
I see Yoda. Talk to me
Amen.
about. I can't believe that Yoda fell to the 5th round. I was gonna snatch him up if y'all fools didn't, but I wanna hear why Yoda went 5th for you.
I originally was fighting between having Luke or Yoda as my Grandmaster choice. It was a really difficult decision. I love Yoda. I'm a Yoda lover. I think the choice now is he kept going past, and I needed him on the team. I feel like having both Yoda and Luke kind of sitting at the top would be just a really, like, having those two being able to communicate with each other, trying to decide what the next right move is. Two very level-headed people. Like, I think that would work out really well. And I was also kind of thinking, I got all kind of these, Cal Kestis, and I got Merrick, and like these people who might get a little hot-headed at certain moments. Maybe they're getting pissed off with Luke. They can go talk to Yoda and get another calm perspective, and then be cooled down. And they can go back and forth to that. Having these two like powerhouses at the top just seems really beneficial. I couldn't see him go any farther in this list.
Yeah, no, he's great to pick there. There's no doubt about that. All right, I wanna see what else we got. 'Cause there's little else you could say about Yoda other than, I mean, he's got his issues, but again, 5th round I think is just plain slander. If I wasn't such a Kit Fisto stan, I would have chosen him the last time I had the chance. So had to do what I had to do. But who's next?
With their 5th pick, Andy chooses Leia Organa Solo, Padawan from Canon.
And I assume you're drafting Canon Leia, right? Because you don't know Legends Leia. So that's an interesting one. I want to hear about that.
And I'll be honest, it was a misclick. She was a little lower on my list and I accidentally clicked her, but we can't go back, I don't think. I think it is what it is. So I do appreciate the vibes. I appreciate, her character that she brings to the table from a, like, hopefully we're not involved in politics, but if we are, I know she will represent the Jedi well.
That's true.
And, she does have connections with the Force. I'm not super well versed on those connections, outside of the Bloodline book and the scenes we have in Rise of Skywalker, I believe, where she's training very briefly. Yeah, on there for the vibes, definitely. Yeah. Oops, fat fingers.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's not a bad pick, especially if you pivot to Legends Leia. Taylor can back me up on this. I mean, Legends Leia slaps. She goes hard. She's got a lot of power. She never becomes a master, if my memory serves. I think she's a knight, but she's very, very powerful. And like you said, I mean, she's got the life experience to back up a lot of these. To kind of mellow out some of these other people and really help guide a lot of folks. I mean, she's been through a ton, so that's not a bad pick at all. I don't hate it. I feel like I'm gonna hate this next pick though. I got it spoiled, and I'm not happy, but I want to hear it.
Okay. Sorry, I pressed that button like 2 minutes ago.
All right, that's just loud.
With their 5th pick, Michael B chooses Porter Engle, Master from Canon.
He was on my list. Go ahead, Michael. Talk about it.
Oh, man. I feel like he's one I didn't clock the first time I read him through. They introduce him as sort of this living legend character when you first meet him. So everybody kind of looks up to him. He's centuries old. Even at the time of the High Republic, everybody's like, this guy's his lightsaber combat prowess. Like, he's one of the only people in that era that has combat experience to some degree, like Jedi comparable combat experience, and he is really well known. He, as the High Republic books have gone on, he's just gotten way more interesting. He has a very interesting tragic backstory with family members. He sort of kind of delves into the dark and brooding, especially in the later books. And he does this really cool thing where he fights by hovering his lightsaber out in front of him, and he uses the Force to kind of like twirl it around without ever having to touch it, so he can free both of his hands to use the Force, and he like meditates to swing the lightsaber around. It's really cool. Something that I wish we actually would see in canon a little bit more. Also, his lightsaber itself is really cool. I think there's multiple designs, but they're all very, very cool, like saber style lightsabers, almost like a Dooku. I feel like he and Dooku would have a good time sparring for sure.
The sparring. Oh, it's gonna be great. Yeah, Porter was definitely on my list. I just finished Eye of Darkness. I mean, the stuff he gets to do in that book is amazing. I truly, truly love him. Yeah, he's just absolutely
wait till the next book.
Yeah, can't wait. Cannot wait. So now it's back to me. So I'm gonna go ahead and make my 2 picks, and then we'll talk about them. I'm excited for these. I'm gonna let my Legends freak flag fly. All right. We don't need to do the chime. Just tell me who I picked.
With their 5th pick, Ed chooses Mara Jade Skywalker, Master from Legends.
Y'all don't know, but you done messed up leaving her on the board. She would have had to have been way earlier if Taylor was here. Taylor's not here, so I got to fill out my ranks a little bit. Mara Jade.
Taylor's over screaming because you didn't.
Taylor can be happy that I have chosen her. She has been selected. She is off the board, and she's on my team. Mara Jade is everything. Mara Jade is awesome. The power, just the history of what she's gone through, her life. She's perfect. She's great. Watching
honestly,
her,
Ed, I think she deserves a little more explanation.
Mara Jade
I don't
in
know
Legends.
even a lot of her backstory.
Mara Jade in Legends, I'll try to keep it briefly. Mara Jade was the hand of the Emperor, sort of like a Galen Marek type of character. Like she was a Force-sensitive assassin for the Emperor, and then the Empire, falls and the Emperor dies, and so she ends up working with Thrawn and trying to hunt Luke Skywalker. And then fast forward, and they fall in love, and then they get married, and it's a great enemies to lovers trope. Reba, take notes; you'd love it. And then come to find out later on, they get married, they have children, and reading about a Force-sensitive mother, who's just this immense power, but then also dealing with, being a parent, and then, the sort of struggles that come with that, watching someone fight with the dark side, because remember, she was the Emperor's hand. When you get someone threatening her son, there's some mama bear moments that are just amazing. She's great. Had to have her on my team. Anyone have any other things they want to say about Mara, or we want to move on to the next pick? All right, we'll move on to the next pick.
Next on my list, so you got that one from me.
Next pick.
With their 6th pick, Ed chooses Bastila Shan, Master from Legends.
Girl power, rounding out the trio. Had to get Bastila. I got Revan. I gotta have Bastila. You gotta complete the set. They're great together, and it's awesome. I'm very excited about this pick. Bastila's power is awesome. She needs someone to help keep her steady. She's got that that dark side itch that some of these characters do. But Revan was the thing that brings her back all the time, right? So having Revan means you get the most out of Bastila. You get that battle meditation, all the stuff that she's got at her disposal. I love this pick. I'm very happy with this pick, and I feel like if more people were read in on Legends, it might have gone a little earlier. But I got your loss is my gain. Bastila is great. I'm gonna restart this so that Michael B can make his pick.
I already apologize.
You took him out of my list.
I'm sorry.
All right, let's go ahead and announce that one.
Every time.
With their 6th pick, Michael
If
B
you
chooses
every single character from Light of the Jedi. Sorry.
Who does he choose?
Sorry.
There's actually,
It's
I don't
okay.
think that's
I
possible because there's like 30. There are like 30 Jedi in that book.
All right. Radio silence.
And they're all on my list.
The announcer is talking. Who does he choose?
It's okay. I needed the extra time to figure out how to pronounce this. Buryaga Agaburi, my man. Knight from Canon.
Nailed it.
Excellent. Excellent pick. Michael, tell us why we're all so mad that you got Buryaga.
I don't know if I can because it would spoil too much of the book for you guys coming up. So much. Again, he's another one I didn't really clock the first time around. In the first book, he's a Jedi he's a Wookiee, first of all. Who doesn't love a Wookiee Jedi?
A Wookiee?
He's a I think he's even a Padawan. Yeah, he's a Padawan in the first book. So he's a younger Wookiee. And he has just a over-the-top empathic abilities. He is a feeler through and through, and it is really, really helpful. He and Avar Kriss, as you guys will see, are just an amazing combo. I can't spoil for you guys what they're able to accomplish, but the combination of their two abilities, her ability to link Jedi through together, they call it a drift, but it basically like a shared consciousness almost. And then Buryaga's ability to completely give of himself his feelings, or also just really absorb and listen to others' feelings in a way that lets him. In the first book, he basically saves thousands of people by being able to detect living people in like Reba, you might have to help me out because honestly, I haven't read the book in a while. But are they in hyperspace, or is it after it's hyperspace? It's debris. It's about to hit a planet. I can't remember.
When it comes out of hyperspace.
It's when it comes out, and they're like trying to. So there's this big chunk of debris that's coming out of hyperspace. It's going to totally wipe out a planet, and he's the only one that detects there's people in this debris because the Jedi are about to just completely destroy it to save the planet, and he's the only one that can tell, hey, that thing's full of people. Really important. Buryaga's great.
Yeah, love Buryaga. Burry's great. That empath stuff, I mean, he's just, the way they write that, it's amazing. He's very, very well written. Okay, let's hear the next pick though. Who we got?
With their sixth pick, Andy chooses Ezra Bridger, Padawan from Canon.
All right, let's hear about it.
Him. This is who I meant to click, but I'm glad I got Leia and Ezra both. Ezra is a character that, for me, I didn't love to begin with, and then by the end of Rebels, I absolutely adored. He's one of my favorite parts of the new show Ahsoka, as he's, I just think, incredibly casted. Yeah, he's got a ton of power, and I'm honestly curious to see where he's headed in our canon, having his relationship with the Force right now and with where he's been for so long. I can't remember the names of planets or anything like that. You guys would have to help me out with that. But yeah, that's why he's my pick.
Very, very interesting. I don't hate it at all. I think it makes a lot of sense. Especially with the team that you've assembled thus far, given the relationship with Ahsoka, all of that. Love every bit of it. Let's see this next one.
With their sixth pick, Mikey D chooses Shock T, Master from Canon.
How dare you? This is the last time. This is the last time I share anything with you.
You're really gonna put Shock T and Galen Merrick in the same room together after what they've
100%. 100%.
Oh no!
100. Andy doesn't know about that, and that's something we'll have to talk about later. I wanted another. I wanted another wise, caring, gentle kind of master on this list. It'll make more sense as I build out the rest of this council. But Shock T in the Clone Wars is great. Shock T in the games didn't do as well, but great character. I wanted her on here. It'll make more sense later on. That's all I got.
And look, man, if Reba's been able to eat this whole time saying everybody's hot and sexy and handsome and everything, I mean, we can acknowledge that, the tropical Shock T look is not a bad one, okay? Like, she wears that Rancor hide, okay? That's what she's doing.
100%.
Oh, wow. Okay, I want to hear this one.
With their sixth pick, Reba chooses Jason Solo, Knight from Legends.
This is like the only Legends character I know anything about, and I feel like he needs to be on my handsome man roster. Michael, where'd you go? Come back.
I know Taylor's screaming right now. I need you to explain why you get Jason and Taylor doesn't.
Well, because Taylor's not here, but also, so Jason, I know about Jason because I am Ben Solo's #1 stan. And so because I know a lot about Ben Solo, I know a lot about Jason because Disney took parts of Jason's and Anakin Solo's story and made Ben Solo. But Jason Solo is a child of Leia and Han Solo. He has a twin sister. He becomes Darth Caedus after he's like kidnapped and tortured. He kind of becomes like a Sith sleeper cell spy when he goes back to the Jedi, to the new Jedi Order. He has a really sad death, and he canonically gets it on because he has children. He has a daughter, which means that Leia and Han have grandchildren, which is super cool in Legends. And yeah, and he's handsome, so he's on my handsome man list.
So listen, Reba was like, I am a very, very big fan. I've grown up drinking Sam's Choice Cola, and people keep talking about Coca-Cola. I don't know. I've never had it, but it sounds like it might be cool. So I'm going to go ahead and pick Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's great. I love it. I'm just glad he got picked. But you're still on the clock, friend. You got another selection.
I'm the next person.
So, yeah, let's see what we get. Oh, screw you.
Handsome.
He is handsome. All right, let's hear it. I'm spoiling the picks. I'm sorry.
With their 7th pick, Reba chooses Stellan Gios, Master from Canon.
Hi.
Keep stepping on my wife.
I'm important.
I'm sorry, Lauren. I know you're so important. You're the most important part.
Lauren deserves to have a camera, though.
Hey, I tried.
You need to have like an
Don't
overhead,
you dare put
like,
me on camera.
It's there. If I put it on screen, I think I might get murdered in my sleep tonight. So I'm trying to avoid that. But I don't want to go out like Plagueis. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, tell me why I don't get to have Stellan on my council.
Because he deserves to be on the handsome man roster. He is a Jedi in the High Republic novels. He does a lot of cool stuff during the emergencies, and somebody else can probably talk more about him than I can.
Thank you. I'll jump in. Listen, Stellan is king. Stellan is great. And when I tell you, I was driving and I was listening to an audiobook where he has a lot to do, and I'm like very close to just sobbing. Like I'm not sobbing, I'm weeping. It's like right in there. It's right on that line, Like I can still breathe normally, but there's waterworks. It's amazing. The dude is so well written. It's awesome. Stellan Gios, he was going to be my next pick, so well done. Very excited to see this next one. Who we got?
With their 7th pick, Mikey D chooses Jaro Tapao, Master from Canon.
Ooh, all right, talk about it. I think I get it, but talk about it. I'm going to pull him up so everybody knows.
I can't have Kestis not have T'Pol. I need him in there. A fantastic teacher, a selfless leader, willing to sacrifice himself, There's not a whole lot about how powerful or strong he is, but, just look at that dude. Who doesn't love a double-sided saber?
It's a Lasat. He's great.
Yeah, you gotta love Lasat. But if I'm gonna save Kestis on this, I gotta bring this Master T'Pol up in here. Trained by Yaddle, he's gotta be on here. He's goated.
100%. I feel like he's the light side's Pong Krell, and it's great. I love that pick a lot.
I didn't know he was trained by Yaddle, but I'm trying to imagine that training experience.
It's hilarious, right?
It's like 9 foot tall Lasat and the 3 foot tall Yaddle.
You better behave yourself.
You think she rode on his shoulder or on his back like Yoda did with Luke, but more like a parrot,
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I want to see their sparring sessions.
Yeah.
With their 7th pick, Andy chooses Quinlan Voss, Master from Canon.
I can't believe it took this long. I can't believe that it took this long. Talk about it, Andy. I
Love.
want to hear.
Love, love, love. I mean, Ventress deserves it. He deserves it. They're going to be together. He has a reputation for bending the rules, so I think it would be fun to see paired with Qui-Gon and some of my other picks. And I was really fascinated by his skills. I had to look this up. It's called retrocognition. Am I correct? Where he can touch things and sense memories associated with the item, making him an excellent tracker. Just like an all-around super cool character and handsome.
I thought it was psychometry, but maybe they changed it now that, like Michael pointed out, everyone has psychometry. So I don't know. No, not the sound. We hate the sound. I've paused it. All right. Yeah, Quinlan's great. Quinlan makes a lot of sense for your list, but I am looking. I think we all have a lot of romantic pairings on our councils, and I'm wondering if this will be a problem. We're all leaning into the whole idea that celibacy is dumb. Okay, we're all drafting everybody's
That's stupid. That's a stupid
boyfriends
idea.
and girlfriends. Yeah, exactly. All right, what's the next pick here? I'm excited.
With their 7th pick, Michael B chooses Rom Coda, Master from Legends.
Ooh, okay.
Honestly, I'm shocked Mikey D didn't steal this from me earlier. I was really, really worried, but I feel like Rom is the OG Kanan Jarrus. I feel like they borrowed a lot from his character. Granted, he was always like dubiously canon to begin with, right? He and everybody in the those books, like, or I'm sorry, the video games, the Force Unleashed video games, because they kind of end with a canon breaking plot point, so they
really do.
Doesn't really make sense. But Ram Koda is he's blinded as a Jedi. He's a Order 66 survivor. He worked with I can't remember if he was general of an army that wasn't clones, and so that's why he survived, right, or something something to that degree. Yep. He's a really fascinating character, and I feel like he's the first one to really put Galen Merrick in his place. Though he doesn't beat him necessarily, but he does break him down sort of emotionally and through the Force, and so he becomes his master, very similar to how Kanan is sort of master to Ezra. I really think there's a lot of parallels there, and they borrowed a lot of his character. He also has a really cool lightsaber. I love his leather wrapped blades. Pretty cool.
Yeah, he's great. He's absolutely awesome. And now I'm back on the clock, and I'm doing some heavy thinking here. I'm gonna make a few picks.
That was a great choice.
I got two. Really good. I got two. I'm gonna go with these two. Okay, all right, I'm locked in.
He's the same as Seer too from the Jedi series. Ram Koda is
Ram Koda is absolutely great. All right.
With their 7th pick, Ed chooses Kelleran Beck, Master from Canon.
I love it. Had to have him. When Michael took the blade Porter angle, I needed another blade master, somebody that as of now still escaped Order 66, survived unconfirmed fate. Had to have him,
who didn't at this rate?
Yeah, no, for sure. Everyone. Nobody died, famously. It's one of those things where I am very, very excited by the potential here. I think future stories could have this character growing in power. But even as we stand right now, somebody that's dual wielding lightsabers and, Ahmed Best, love him. I think he's going to do great on my council. Very glad to have him. No doubt about that. Let's see what this next pick is, though. That's where you really get heavy hitters.
With their 8th pick, Ed chooses Satele Shan, Grandmaster from Legends.
I was wondering how that was going to go. You nailed it. Yep, we got both the Shans right here. It's a family affair. I had to round it out. Satele Shan is a Grandmaster, so this is like Luke Skywalker level power. If you've ever seen those cinematics for the Old Republic, just the untapped power that she has. She's incredible. She's an incredible character. I never played the MMO, but I've read a few of the books that came out with it, and it was awesome getting to see her. And her position as leader of the council, I think she'll really fill this role out. I really like her a lot. Yeah, very, very glad to have access to Satil Shan this far down. I think it's a steal. So, yep.
With their 8th pick, Michael B chooses Sacy Tin, Master from Canon.
I think you did pretty great on that one.
Yeah, did I nail it?
Sacy Tin, yeah, that's people. Yeah. People have been pronouncing it like that.
Yeah.
Talk about it, Michael.
I'm getting towards the bottom of my list, and Sacy Tin is one who he himself acknowledges he is not a good fit for council. In fact, he has that in common with Elzar Mann and similar characters, where he's like, I'm not a people person. I'm not a ground, like I'm a ground forces on the ground working on problems. I'm not even really a helping people person. He's honestly not a great Jedi from that perspective. But at the same time, the reason why he's on the council in the Phantom Menace, or is he in the Phantom Menace? I think he is. It was certainly in episode 2 and 3. The reason he is because they need outside perspectives. They need people who think the way he thinks. He's very logical. He's very to the point. He's almost like the Batman of the council, the way he talks and the way he just kind of like straight to work. I also thought he has this scene in the Tartakovsky series that won me over, and he's really, really cool. He has a ship-to-ship space combat where he and a bunch of clone troopers drift through space, and they board an enemy ship through space. It's very cool. I think some of that was actually borrowed for the new Clone Wars series too, but he's got the cool armor. Anyway, like I said, towards the bottom of my list, but I'm glad to have him.
Yeah, no, he's great. He's great. What we got?
With their 8th pick, Andy chooses Ayla Secura, Master from Canon.
Okay. So, all right, before I don't know if you know this. I'm curious to see if you know what you did. Talk about it.
Oh no. What did I do?
No. That's okay. Tell me why. I'll tell you what you need to watch for on your council now.
No, I think I don't know what I did because what I was gonna say was that, like, in canon, I don't know a lot about Ayla Secura, other than she's in a time period I really love. I'm interested. I loved a couple of episodes she featured on the Clone Wars. I wanna get to know her better, you know.
Nah, I'm just messing around. She was Kit Fisto's love interest. I was thinking about it, and I was like, Quinlan Voss was her master, not her love interest. That's right. I thought there was a love triangle there for a split second, but
there is a ship of Ayla with one of the clones. I don't remember which one, but there's a following. Yeah, there's a following online that believe in that.
Wait, doesn't he shoot her?
Yeah,
maybe.
We love.
He definitely shoots her in the show.
Obviously, the love would have happened before that, not after.
Order 66 covers
the
over
love
a lot.
prevents it. You know, maybe the love makes it so that it's like a Rex situation.
His gun was on stun. Everyone else is on the other hand.
That's brutal. That is brutal. Oh my goodness. All right, I want to hear this next one.
With their 8th pick, Mikey D chooses Kiadi Mundi, Master from Canon.
Hey, I just want to applaud you. You are doing a great job with these names.
Sir.
Very, very, very well done. But Michael, tell me why. I need to know why you've chosen the guy who is always wrong. All of the time. That's his favorite thing. He's got 2 brains and he don't use either of them.
I love it. I think famously they have binary brains. Is that correct? To handle different like switches of their thought process. I don't know. I just thought it was funny. I thought it'd be funny with the rest of these guys, so I put him in there. I needed another master.
I'm getting to that part of my list too.
Yeah, I just love his big head. I know.
All right. Well, hey, we'll move
guys.
on.
I want a big head boy.
this is just like the NFL draft. You get to like round 6, 7, you're just choosing people. So yeah, that's fine. Let's keep it moving then. I'll restart the draft, and Reba, you can make your pick. I would not have chosen Kiadi Mundi there. I want to go on record and say that was a reach. Interesting. You got 2 picks. Why don't you go ahead and make your second
my
pick,
other
Reba,
one?
and then we can we can talk about it. We've been doing this thing for like 8 rounds now. None of this should surprise you guys. All right. I want to hear about it once we announce it.
With their 8th pick, Reba chooses Rey Skywalker, Master from Canon.
All right. Rey Skywalker. She's a master at the end of the Disney. Bob Iger.
I mean,
is like,
I guess she has to be.
Yeah, she's the last one.
I mean, that means she has to be the Grandmaster, right? She's Grandmaster Rey Skywalker. Why not? Just steal everything. Why don't you?
Absolutely.
I am
Absolutely.
not the last Jedi.
She's the granddaughter of Palpatine. She is one half of a Force dyad. She's got finger lightning. She is a fast learner. She is just
that's one way to put it.
Her boyfriend is on my list.
Look at us, man. I'm
list,
telling you,
so.
we're all just matchmaking out here. It's crazy. These councils are just like dating apps. It's insane. All right, let's hear the next pick.
With their 9th pick, Reba chooses Jocasta Nu, Master from Canon.
I don't hate this pick. It might be controversial. I don't hate it. Why did you choose Jocasta? Because you knew who she was?
Because I like librarians.
Okay.
She's a librarian. And I also think that every roster of hot people needs an old lady librarian to kind of keep them in check. She's gonna be the cool blood in the list.
She's gonna remind them to drink lots of water.
Yeah. There's Gatorade upstairs, kids.
Take breaks, drink water. But yeah, she's a librarian and she's old and I know who she is and we're really like, we're in the dregs of who I know at this point.
All right, we'll move on then. We'll move on. We got another
Wait
pick.
till you meet Reith Silas.
Yeah, you're going to like Reith Silas.
With their 9th pick, Mikey D chooses Maris Brood, Padawan from Legends.
I
like
had
it.
to bring her in. She is weak, but if Shakti's in here, I gotta bring her Padawan with her. It's a weird council like going with Merrick and Shakti and Maris all combined. There's gonna be some tension.
Yeah,
but they're all gonna grow from it. They're gonna become more powerful. Just imagine those meetings, all that tension. It'd be so funny. There's like not a whole lot about her. I mean, in the most we've seen about her, she's told to run away, and then runs away. It's like, I'm sorry for being bad. I'll be good again, or I'll be bad again. I'll do whatever you want. Just kind of weak, but I feel like there's potential there. Andy, I can't wait to explain this lore to you. It'll be great.
Oh my goodness. What a vibe. All right, we'll move on from there. I've been swindled. What's this next pick?
With their 9th pick, Andy chooses Yaddle, Master from Canon.
Talk about it.
I love Yaddle. I went from thinking Yaddle was purely a meme created for a joke on the internet to accepting that she's real, to seeing her I loved her in Tales of the Jedi, seeing her interact with Dooku. I want to see more of her. I want to know more about Yaddle. I like her.
Like I said, she was probably my next pick, honestly. She was on the short list. Yaddle's great. She's a great addition to any council. I'm frustrated. I'm surprised she went this far, to be honest, but hey, it is what it is.
With Grogu, like I got both.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you got. Yep, you got two of them. No, there are two of them. All right. Who's next? Michael B is next. The pick is not in
Ed,
yet. So
I managed to do it. I found a Jedi that's not on your list that I wanted to pick, and I am kind of sad now.
tell me who it
I don't
is.
know which
I'll
one to
add
do.
them. Maybe there's time.
Can you add them right now?
Yeah, I'll try.
Can I claim them? No one else is gonna.
Claim 'em.
So
Say
so I was getting him confused with
I need the
Creighton's
name.
son, Charo Roy.
Okay.
Should I go ahead and pick?
No, I'm gonna add him
Okay.
and see if he shows up.
Where's he gonna show up at the bottom? Oh, there he is.
Probably.
Is that how
All right.
you spell his name?
It's how I spelled it.
No, it is.
Move
Yeah,
on.
no, you got it. You got it. All right, relax. Okay.
All right, I'm gonna skip past Lauren announcing that one. Michael chooses Charo Roy. Go ahead, talk about him.
Oh, poor Lauren.
Ed, do you know who this is? I don't know how much I'm
Yeah, he was in the
exclusive.
he was in the prequels, right?
Yeah,
Another
so he's
big
in
head
the
boy.
Yeah, another big head boy. Yeah, he's another Syrian, except he's got a much cooler beard than Kiadi. So sorry.
I'm pulling up a picture
he
for the uninitiated.
he has a tragic end. Very very cool, very interesting character. Again, I can't get too far into what exactly happens with him without spoiling a lot of the Phase 2 High Republic books, but he's really cool. Take my word for it. He's a cool Jedi. He's another
looks like
great
the
storm.
Dude
He's
looks
like
like
the
the
weird-
Conehead memes for sure.
He's the love child between Elzar Mann and Kiadi Mundi. Like, he kind of looks like they smashed both faces together. But anyway, he's another Loden Greatstorm kind of Jedi of Jedi. So, big fan of him.
That's a good pick. I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all. Now it's my turn. I got to make two. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to make them both right now. And I'll leave the draft running so everybody can pick. Lauren, go ahead and announce that bad bear.
With their 9th pick, Ed chooses Hoth, open parentheses, Jedi Lord, close parentheses, Master from Legends.
Lord Hoth. Lord Hoth from the Bane books. Well, he's not around the whole time, but Lord Hoth is one of those ultra powerful master duelist, master strategist, warrior for the light. Back when the Jedi had to really just fight in open warfare against the Sith and Legends, he had a lot to do. They learn the plan. They learn that the Sith are gonna sacrifice themselves. Well, they learn of the Bane's plan, and Lord Hoth knows that he's not going to make it out, and he still goes in, sacrifices himself, and lets 100 people volunteer, and he thinks he's going to have to pick people and draw straws, but his entire outfit volunteers to follow him, and so he ends up having to draw straws, but his whole outfit was ready to go down with the ship with him. Someone that can inspire that kind of loyalty, had to have him on my team. I'm glad to get the chance to. I'm very confident that if Eric was here, he would have chosen him. I'm not sure anybody else. Maybe Mikey D might have had him on his radar, but otherwise, yeah. Even though I probably could have got him later, I had to get Lord Hoth. What's the next one?
With their 10th pick, Ed chooses Indara, Master from Canon.
I owe it to her. We did her dirty. We're talking about the Acolyte. We're talking about this show. And we were like, I bet she's a war criminal. I bet she sucks. She wasn't. She was great. She was awesome. And Indara's wise. Indara's powerful. We saw her demonstrate that, kicking all the witches out of Kelnaka's head, killing them all. She's got skills. She's got wisdom. Gone too soon. R.I.P. She's still on my council, so I'm glad to have her. Alrighty, it's already running, so we got another pick.
With their 10th pick, Michael B chooses Balin Skull, Knight from Canon.
Man just hates the light side. Let's talk about it, Michael.
No. See, I think my trend is people who had some pretty hefty criticisms with the council as we knew it and with the way the Jedi were being run. And if the Council were not making the decisions that it made, they would have been fantastic Jedi. They would have been great forces for light. But the problem with their stories was not typically them and their connection to the Force and their desire to do good. It was usually when their desire to do good came in conflict with the direction the Jedi were going. I think that goes with Anakin, that goes with Dooku, that goes with Baylan. I gotta look at the rest of my list, but at least those guys. Yeah.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all.
That's my theme. The other ones
like
that went with
Baylan.
that theme have been stolen, so. Yeah, Baylan was really cool, too. He's one of the coolest new canon Jedi that have been introduced, I think. He's probably my favorite part about the Ahsoka series. Baylan was awesome.
It's hard not to love him, yeah. And I want to point out some of the people that are still on the board here. We got I'm a Gundai. He's still on the board. He's still available, to the great shock of many. There's quite a few left, so very interested to see who goes next. Let's hear this next pick.
With their 10th pick, Andy chooses Gunji, Padawan from canon.
I'm so mad.
Fair.
Gunji. Yeah, that's a good one. I like it.
Listen.
Surprising he went before Kelnaka and Lobaka, but yeah, go for it.
I'm adopting another baby. He's gonna be really big one day, and none of y'all stand a chance, honestly. Gunji's a cutie pie. That's it.
I stack Buryaga up against Gunji any day.
Yeah, well, Buryaga's not there anymore. But yeah, I agree. I would put.
You're right. Gunji did survive Order 66 like every other Jedi, so you know.
Oh, let's hear this next pick.
With their 10th pick, Mikey D chooses Seer Junta, Master from canon.
This man stays picking everybody that was alive between episode 3 and 4.
Also, exclusively video game characters. Just all the video game characters.
Collecting Infinity Stones. All right, tell me why Seer. Talk about it.
So, Jocasta Nu was on my list. I wanted a records keeper, a knowledge keeper, someone who kind of, Jocasta was no slouch. She could still handle herself. So I wanted someone who could handle the archives and all the knowledge that these masters and knights and Padawan would need to continue on the Jedi legacy. And after Jocasta's gone, Seer kind of took up that mantle, started collecting every bit of the archives she could, tried to bring it back to life, tried to keep the knowledge together. Her arc was also really interesting. I just thought that she would kind of fill that space that I had there.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all. I think it's a pretty good pick. Yeah, especially to fill out, like you got Cal, so, makes sense. You do have Cal, right? Yeah, he was your second overall pick. Wild.
I love him, dude. I love him.
Oh, okay. Pick again so we can get them both, and then I want to hear about this. I swear, the person you just picked, who I won't spoil, was literally like, I just made that joke about I'm a Gundai. This character was also there. I was like, there's no way. I added this character to the list as a joke. I'm like, there's no shot that anyone picks this clown. But here we are. I want to hear this one. Let's announce it.
With their 10th pick,
I know nothing
Reba
about him. I'm sorry, go on, sorry.
I just want to be loved.
I'm sorry.
Me. Boda Kuna, a knight from canon.
Thank you. Sorry.
I want to hear why. Is there any reason?
Because I am looking up these characters while everyone else is talking, and he's handsome. That's why. I was like, well, he'll fit for the handsome man roster.
I got a text.
He fits the mold for you, Reba, honestly. It works.
I am. There are 3 people left on my short list. And so I've just been searching for, handsome men, I guess, to add to my list.
He's super on brand for you, Reba. That's actually a solid pick for you.
I've never played these games. I don't know anything about it. I just said, I like his suspenders. Going on my council. That's how that
He is
happened.
the worst person in all of Star Wars.
He
Oh, that makes
truly
me
is
sad.
just. I hate him so
Evil.
much.
Terrible.
He makes me
Ugh.
so angry. But here we are. All right. What's the next pick?
With their 11th pick, Reba chooses Zet Jukasa, Padawan from Canon.
I
He's
have
12.
no idea who this is.
So tread carefully. He's a little boy.
So, Gunji was my pick for my kid to have on my roster, my council, but Andy swooped him. So I was like, I'll put Zet on because
You know
I
what,
know
though?
who he is.
This kid is OP. This kid's fantastic.
Yeah, he stood up to
Now that you've
Anakin.
reminded- Yeah.
He does pretty good. Spoiled
Mr.
a couple picks there.
There's too many of them.
Oh, that's not even him. He's so powerful. He's in multiple places. No, he's the one who jumps over and kills a bunch of clones. Yeah, you're not stupid.
yeah.
You're not
Okay.
stupid.
Well,
You're just really excited, and that's great.
All
All right, we got a few picks to get through here. I wanna catch up. We're in the part of the draft where I think everybody's just throwing things against the wall. Not me, but some people. So let's see. Let's see what we get. Let's see if the next pick is thrown against the wall or intentional. I'm excited to find out.
With their 11th pick, Mikey D chooses Eno Cordova, Master from Canon.
I get it. Tell me why.
Intentional. Historian, someone who's willing to travel the galaxy to find out the truths of the Force, trying to find the history. A true historian and someone who's trying to get to the bottom of everything. He's very
all these councils are awesome. Okay, Reba's got the hot council, Michael's got the video game council, the dorky librarian council, Michael B has got the dark side Sith council. Andy's got actually a pretty balanced council. Andy's doing some work over here. I think Andy's got a very strong council. And then I'm you judge me yourself. I can't speak to myself.
And nobody even knows who these people are on Ed's list.
Real ones know. If you about that life, you about this life. All right, let's see how the next pick is.
With their 11th pick, Andy chooses Oppo Rancisis, Master from Canon.
I love this pick. I want to hear why you chose Oppo.
I wish it was really genuine. I'm in Reba's boat where I'm looking stuff up, and the picture of this guy. Can we please pull it up on Wikipedia?
I got you. That's the
first,
snake.
the very first
Whoa.
one. Not that one. The first one. Yeah. I think.
And people said there was no.
I think he brings a lot.
Jedi Council.
Right.
I think he brings a lot to the table. Yeah, no, that's it.
Okay. Oppo's great. He's a Thespiasian. He's awesome. Very powerful, very long-lived. He's alive through the time of the High Republic. He's got a lot to do. He has a lot to do in the Living Force book that everybody keeps talking about. Everybody being me and Michael. He talks to animals. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Oh,
not a bad pick.
With whales.
He swims with whales. He does. He speaks for the trees. All right, let's hear this next pick. We're getting close. We're down to the final here.
With their 11th pick, Michael B chooses Evan Peel, Master from Canon.
I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. Evan Peel, tell me about it.
Yeah, it's almost a shame that he made it down here. We don't have enough content about him because he's kind of the weird Porky Pig version of Yoda, honestly. But he's really cool in what we see. He's a POW in Clone Wars, so that's a pretty heavy concept of it's going down. And then his character in the Living Force book that you just mentioned, Ed, is really good. Like he's an interesting counterpart to Saesee Tin, who is like way too serious all the time and is not focused enough on people. I feel like Evan Peel comes across as serious and looks really serious because he's kind of scary looking. But he's just like a genuinely good-hearted Jedi. He cares about the little person, and he's also just a fierce fighter and a great general. So I felt like he fit in pretty well with the rest of my guys.
Yeah, that's a great one. I like that pick a lot. We're talking actual council members here, people that actually got some skill. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of having a different problem than some of you are. I'm agonizing over these next two picks because they're my last two. This is all I get. So I'm trying to figure out who I'm gonna go with. But you gotta make a decision, right? Can't center on your anxieties. You gotta live in the moment and be part of the living force. And so that's why I'm going to make these next two picks. First thought, best thought. And we're going to rock and we're going to roll. Boom. Okay. Announce them.
With their 11th pick, Ed chooses Jaina Solo, Knight from Legends.
Jaina's great. The Blade of the Jedi, I think is her title, if my memory's serving me. She's the one that ends up having that big duel with her brother. Incredibly powerful, a lot of awesome stuff. She ends up marrying the Emperor, the head of state of the Galactic Empire at that time. Not the Emperor, not Sheev, but yeah, no. Jaina's great. Jaina's absolutely awesome. She trains with Boba Fett. She gets that Mandalorian training. Excellent stuff. These were some of the first books I read as a burgeoning Star Wars fan, and so they always hold a very near and dear place to me. Yeah, she's absolutely great. Very excited to talk about this next pick as well.
With their 12th pick, Ed chooses Odon Master from Canon.
Does anyone know this guy? Anyone know this guy? All good. I'll pull him up. Odan was very much like your sort of Jocasta Nu, except he had a lot of power. He was the master of Ossus, which is where Luke set up his academy in canon, what brought it back in. But Ossus was like one of the first Jedi temples. So he's very Old Republic. This is like Great Hyperspace War era. Excuse me. But yeah, Odan I don't know what his species is. He's an odd looking guy, but very, very, he's a bad dude. He's powerful. He's got a lot where it counts as far as muscle, but he's got the gray matter too. Very, very wise. Got a lot going on. He'll be a great addition to round out my council. Bring that wisdom that I was hoping to get with Yoda that I didn't have access to. So I had to do that, stick the landing. So Odan rounds out my picks. Very excited to see where we go for the rest of this.
He looks like those weird worm creatures on Corellia.
Yeah, I could see that. He's different species. He's shorter. But there's
a High Republic book that most people skipped over called Midnight Horizons, and it's an interesting one. But it happens on Corellia, and it actually introduces the one worm creature that we see in Solo as sort of like a youth, sort of just a total side character. But they discuss that those creatures can like fit into spacesuits to survive out in the sun and stuff. It's kind of interesting thought.
One worm to rule them all.
There you go.
Love it. Yeah. What's his next pick?
With their 12th pick, Michael B. chooses Yarael Poof, Master from Canon.
So this is my version of Mikey D's Kiadi pick, I think. It was either him or I'm a Gun Die, just for the memes, to be honest. There were some others, especially the High Republic characters, that I'm like, I probably should pick, but I can't imagine a council without ye old baseball head, He's just so, and also like he was a great meme. We watched the Robot Chicken Star Wars a while back, Ed. It was one of our first times hanging out, I think, and he's hilarious. So funny. But the best part is I feel like we didn't really have much of his character in anything. He's actually in High Republic 2 because, like every other alien, he's long lived.
Yep, everybody lives forever.
They gave us a lot more of his character in that Living Force book recently. And in that Living Force book, he's really funny. He's one of my favorite parts of that book. Like, the book itself, you could probably skip it. It's interesting for some reasons, but his character is hilarious, especially his interactions with the very like stoic and just literal Ki-Adi-Mundi. Yarael Poof's hilarious. Love him.
We didn't talk
He's
one
the
little
comedic relief for the rest of
anecdote
my
from
life.
that book that I really love. I didn't give enough shade to Ki-Adi-Mundi earlier. Man gets the opportunity to order a snow cone, and he gets it without flavor. He just wanted ice. And it's like,
I'm sorry, you mean
screw
an
you,
ice
buddy.
mound?
Yeah,
And it's
an
also
ice
all
mound.
he needs to eat for like an entire week. He's like, I had a bite of an ice mound, and the Force fulfills me for the rest of. And Yarael
Yeah.
Poof's like, dude,
wise
you need to
man.
grow up.
Yarael Poof's like, I've been alive for a very long time, so now I'm just doing side quests. I'm making people laugh. I'm being goofy.
He really was.
Yeah, Yarael Poof's great.
He was
That's
like,
that's a
Ki-Adi-Mundi,
good
let's
pick.
put some knives and stick them out of your head and have you, like, the two of us, wacky, tall looking dudes, let's investigate like some underground criminal ring, and we're gonna dress up like them, where we have spikes sticking out of our heads. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Like, don't you think we're gonna stand out? No. Aquarian? No. We see those everywhere, definitely.
No, it's awesome. Very interested to see everybody's final chance. So let's see everybody's final pick here. Who's next?
With their 12th pick, Andy chooses Barriss Offee.
Wow, I like that. Tell me about it.
Yeah, and she was gonna be higher, honestly. She's been on my list for a while. I can't really, I don't think in good faith, say that I get to have wise healer Barriss Offee because this is a Jedi Council. I'd like to say that, but
No, you do. She came back. You get her. Yeah.
I get her exactly when I want her in the timeline.
You select. Michael got Legends
Oh.
Luke, Yeah. You get her whenever you want
If
her.
you get healer
Absolutely.
Barriss, though, she and Ahsoka are gonna have some words, probably.
And
They probably did have words. That's why she's
They
a
probably
healer.
did.
it's gonna be great. I love Barriss.
I love that pick. You know how much Tales of the Empire meant to me. That was great. One of the OG instances of Ed reaching. 10 out of 10. Really loved it. Loved her character in it. So, excellent pick. Well chosen.
With their
just
12th
lost
pick,
the draft.
Mikey D chooses Sin Drawling, Master from Canon.
It looks like the draft is finished, maybe? I'm trying to figure this out here. You've chosen Sin Drawlig. Excellent. I
Yeah.
like that pick.
A troll.
He was on my list. I was agonizing over that one. I really was. That's a good pick. I like that.
I'm thinking infrastructure, got to bring the Temple Guard back. Who better to lead it than the troll?
Yep.
Did a good job,
That's a good one.
Only taken down by Darth Vader himself. A great fighter, master of his form. I just thought he
Blade
kind of
master,
rounded
yep.
us out nicely. Yeah.
That's a good one. I like that pick quite a bit. What's
Thank
the
you,
last
thank you.
pick of the draft? Mr. Irrelevant in this on-program Jedi draft. Let's see what was chosen.
The next and final pick is from Reba, Soul.
You chose Soul.
I chose Soul.
Talk
Here we
to me
go.
about
Here
it.
we go.
Tell me in words that aren't,
So,
he's beautiful.
I mean, I was gonna say number one qualifying factor, is he handsome? Yes, he is. Number two, do I know who he is? Yes, I do. That's kind of where I'm at. Also, I really liked Soul. I know he made some awful choices, but I really liked him, and he held his own against the Stranger, and it was really impressive to watch him fight the Stranger. So I don't feel bad having him on my team. I just got to make sure he doesn't have any daughter figures around that he could latch himself onto and make bad choices about. He
Just
gets no
had your little
Padawan.
sister from. Da, 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 da. Sold out like us.
I didn't mean it
Laura's
like
gonna
that.
be like, you're
Just not-
white. Oh, goodness gracious. I don't know that I love that pick. Why I got sent this during our broadcast. Fair enough.
It's fighting for our right to vote. So when you go to those booths and cast your ballot, remember, Warren G. Harding is way the cutest.
That's me.
Hey, look, man, I gave no parameters. This is the council that we all chose. We stood on it. We're happy to be here. I'm happy that every single one of you was here. This stream was a lot of fun for me. I was very excited about this one, and the universe had some other plans. It didn't quite go off the hitchless extravaganza that I was hoping for, but we stuck it out. We did it. I'm glad that we made this happen. So thank you so much to all of my panelists, especially our lovely announcer Lauren. I will be drafting summary lists of everyone's counsel that will get emailed out and put on our Instagram. And I want anyone who watches this to vote and then also leave your ultimate counsel. But while you're sitting there thinking why we don't all have Yoda, remember that it was a fantasy draft. So, look through and see. There's a lot of honorable mentions that could have been picked here. There's a lot of good undrafted free agents. If we were going to go back through, pick up some people, there's a bunch of them. There's some high council members that were left sitting there. There's a ton of them. No one wanted Luminara? What are we talking about? I mean, somebody
would I?
Somebody could have got Luminara. Come on. Somebody could have
Yeah, who was Luminara? She produced Barris Offee,
Yeah, right? Someone's got to have a stick
She's
in the mud somewhere.
everything wrong with Barris Offee. She is the
well,
problem.
Kiadi Mundi went off the board. I don't know. But hey,
I wouldn't have taken him. I would have left
edit
Yoda.
this down. Yeah, Yoda's definitely better than Kiadi Mundi in every universe. We left Vandar on the board. We left another member of Yoda's species on the board. There's some good ones here.
Hey,
there's some good ones here.
We should post our actual picks if we didn't have to fight over ones like who our actual top 12 would be.
That's a good idea. That's a very good idea. Everybody, text me your top 12 Jedi, and I'll make 2 lists: who you actually got, and then who you would have drafted if we all didn't exist. Yeah, more work. The children yearn for the mines. We slave away for your enjoyment. Welcome. This is On Program. We appreciate you, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for stopping by.
Bye.
That was a lot of fun. Leave a like on the way out. Thanks for stopping by. Tell us who you would have chosen, because obviously, we're crazy, right? Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. We got stuff every week. We're in one of those lulls right now, so it's going to be stuff like this, but we're hanging out every week talking Star Wars. What more could you want? On Program Pod, Instagram, TikTok. Do the whole thing, man. Come hang out with us. Discord's linked in the description. That's a lot of fun. Hang out with us all week. We'll see you next Friday.